नीतीश जी आप कर देना एक बार जरा.
Okay, so shall we start or?
नीतीश जी, sir, I think you have been made.
I had given the right, sir.
Please, sir.
Okay, okay. Chalo, great. So shall we begin now?
Please, sir, please.
Okay.
We are all waiting.
Okay, okay. So friends, first of all, a very warm welcome to all of you and a very good evening. For me, it is of course good morning here. And I think we have been interacting with each other on many other occasions also. Some of you know me also, and we have been interacting. Well, friends, one of the important things you see in the life of a profession is that change is a law of nature. And what best it is that if we have to update our knowledge and study for another very important subject, say after a very, very long time, particularly after your 10 years of practice or 25 years or 30 years. Well, I always say that we are always the students of law or student of our subject, the accounting subject or whatever subjects which we are there. That humbleness will definitely reach us to a greater height for a very simple reason that we need to keep ourselves updated. When I passed my chartered accountancy, in 1988, one of my principals, because I did from E&Y, Mr. Memani, who was the principal, who was the main principal for me. Now he told me one thing. He says, Ashish, you have become a chartered accountant. You may retain your membership by paying the annual membership fees, but you will be called as a chartered accountant only if you update yourself on a daily basis. And that's those golden words in 1988. They are true even today, isn't it? So friends, in any case, I mean, I'm not here to give any those kind of lectures, but the main important part is that we have all decided that we are going to become registered valuers. Now, here there is a great opportunity. I think most of you know that opportunity which is existing. This concept of registered valuers was issued for the first time in Companies Act Section 247. But the government itself was not clear how to appoint registered valuers. So from 2013 to 2016, Section 247 was not notified, it was not implemented. Now, when IBC came in 2016, it also had a requirement that valuation needs to be done. Because whenever a CIRP process is going on or the company goes into liquidation, well, it is important to know what is the value. So then they thought about it that, look, now since there is already a concept of registered valuer, why can't we extend that registered valuer concept to even IBC? So in IBC, during CIRP and during liquidation, the registered RP or the liquidator, I mean, who is the insolvency professional, he has to get the valuations done. Now, then IBBI was also given that task that let them conduct an examination because they have started conducting the examination for the insolvency professional. They said, let them conduct the examination. They can be the regulator and the exams can be started. And the exams started at that particular stage in 2016 or 17. Well, in the initial batches, but there is a slight difference from the limited insolvency and valuation exam, because in limited insolvency, you have to pass the exam first and then do a 50-hour training. But in valuation, it is reverse. You have to do a 50-hour training first, which is mandatory through any of the IPA, RVs. Now we call them as RVs now, registered valuers organization, RVOs. So you have to get that training done and then you have to pass the exam. And I believe many of you would have done it by now. But the IBBI is also supposed to change the syllabus. Well, this time they changed the syllabus after almost a year, and with effect from 1st June 2020, new syllabus was brought in. It was like a old wine in a new bottle. It was slightly expanded, but what they did practically was some new subjects were added, very minimal. And then they also shifted the weight of the marks weightage, you see, between the subjects. Now, of course, as you know, it is divided into 10 parts. You will get 90 questions instead of 92 questions which were being asked earlier. So this is the overall background. But let me take you to the syllabus, because I'll be dealing with two aspects very importantly, which Mr. R.K. Gupta, R.K. Gupta ji asked me to deal with it. One is that what are the tips? What should I do to pass this exam? And that too in a first attempt. That should be our effort. That's the most important thing. And second is there any practice exam, which Mr. Gupta also mentioned? The fact is it has already been created by transition, not created by me. I will be only giving you a presentation, a live demonstration on that exam. And some of you are already aware. Those who have passed the limited insolvency examination, they may have taken the transitions practice exams for insolvency, which have been very popular. And in any case, for valuation also, a lot of RVOs, particularly from western part, they have also tied up with transition, and they are providing it to their own candidates also. I'm presuming that most of you would have done 50-hour training with the institute also, with the RVOs. Having done that, you have some basic knowledge. And in any case, being a chartered accountant, we are all aware about the valuations and valuation techniques or analysis to some sort of extent. Some of us are already being involved as a valuer. But there are specific questions which are being asked as per the syllabus, like in macroeconomics. Well, we might have studied economics while we were in colleges or maybe when we did our senior secondary, but then we have to come across with other things. So let me share this syllabus with you on your screen, and then we will go about dealing with how to really deal with that particular subject. So this is what I have shared with you right now. Gupta ji, what can you see?
Yes, sir. Subject syllabus. It's all clear, sir.
It is all clear. Great.
Yes.
Yes, this is there, right? So it is basically, the syllabus is extremely important, friends, that we have to look at this. The first part which talks about is the macroeconomics, and the weight is 3%. Well, let us not look at, the percent weightage also. Of course, we have to bear in mind, because in any case, the questions are coming from there. 3% is the weightage, and the questions are very, very simple and theoretical. The only thing is we have to really know that what are these concepts and what is the meaning of that. Like, what is Gordon analysis? The straight questions are being asked. There is nothing analytical about it. So we have to be very, very, very well prepared on this particular subject. This exam, more than the knowledge also, of course, without the knowledge, no one can pass the exam. It is also a matter of strategy, which I always tell all the people. You need to score 60%. But bear in mind that there is a negative percentage also. So the first tip which I can give you while dealing with the subject also is that, number one, if you do not know the answer, please leave that question. This is extremely important, friends. Please leave the question. Do not be greedy. I have seen people who have answered all questions, got negative marks, they have been brought down below 60%. Some people are scoring 58.75, even 59.75 also. So let's not do that. If I am not aware, supposing I don't know what is the meaning of nominal income or real income, well, how I am supposed to pick any of the alternatives? Please leave that question. But I'm not saying that you have to leave out of 100, you have to leave 40 questions. If you leave 40 questions, obviously you will not be able to pass. So, but if you look at the overall analysis, out of 90 questions, you can safely leave around 15 to 20 questions, even if you don't know the answer, and then you can still pass the exam. So do that if that is possible. But one more aspect which is important in this exam, which is a matter of strategy. Let's go through the syllabus first, or let me take you to the last part of it first. Let me start from the reverse. This is extremely important. Now, if you look at the case studies, part number 10. Now, these are nothing but application of valuation techniques. And the case studies are, there will be almost 3 case studies which they say we will be asking. And 10 questions will be asked. Look at the weightage. Each question is of 2 marks. Don't you think it is a must attempt? Well, friends, this is what is important. IBBI is actually shifting its ground now from theoretical questions to more practical analysis. Even if you look at the limited insolvency examination, which has been announced with effect from 1st January, there is a weightage of 50% to the case studies now. So they are moving their syllabus from theoretical only to the practical aspect, analytical. So it's very important that we must understand the concept rather than merely mugging the whole thing. So these 20 questions, this is a must attempt. Let's take, for example, these 10 questions you attempt. I mean, out of 10, supposing you don't know one question because you are well prepared, but still you are not able to answer one question. So you are answering 9. So 18 marks. Out of this, assuming one question goes wrong. So one question means half mark gone. So 18 minus half is 17 and a half. Assuming 2 go wrong, 18 minus 1, 70. So I'm saying 7, you get it right. So 17 marks, you have got it in this particular aspect. Now, if you have got 17 marks in this, friends, now you have to score 43 on the rest of the syllabus, isn't it? From 80 questions, now you need to get 43 marks. That is why I said you can safely leave even 20 questions to that extent. So this is not a very difficult task. Of course, we need to understand the evaluation techniques, which is already there as part of your syllabus. Just hang on to your questions, friends. I will definitely take all the questions. Let me complete my presentation to some extent, and then maybe we will come back to your questions also. And maybe you can be unmuted also if you wish to ask a question. Then coming to the previous one, like judicial pronouncements. Well, there are only 6 cases which you have to study. And they are not a very big deal. I hope Mr. Gupta must have dealt with it. Otherwise, I've also got a small presentation on the judicial pronouncements on valuation, which I can share with you. These are the important concepts because in a judgment, what you need to know, 3 things. And I call it as FIR, facts, issues, ratios. If you know about these 3 things, you know everything about that judgment. So just try to find out facts, issues, and ratios. This is what I have done in my analysis book also for limited insolvency exam. So these 6 cases are landmark judgments. Just you understand these judgments, you will be able to remember what the court has done. So these 2 marks are easy cakewalks. You can score them easily. Don't leave them. So I think this is what is extremely important. Now let us go down to the previous one now, which is the valuation application and valuation approaches. I'm going to take these both of them together. Rather, we can take 6, 7, and 8 as together. Look at the weightage of all these 3. 35 plus 3 plus 4. 42 marks. Now, well, this is the heart and soul of your valuation exam. Of course, I'll come to another part of it, which is also very easy scoring. Overview of valuation, not a big deal. It is just more or less a theoretical process. And when you are dealing with valuation, you must have studied it very deeply. Then valuation approaches is again not a very difficult thing for a chartered accountant to understand. Well, what is the cost approach or net asset value, book value, adjusted value, replacement cost? I do not think it is anything which is a problematic situation. The problem actually comes with the valuation application, which becomes little technical. And I have no doubt about in my mind that this is little technical. Well, you have the support of the books, you have the support of the RVO classes, and you have the support of Mr. R.K. Gupta's classes along with Nitish Chukji's classes. I mean, whatever help they are doing it, I think we must really, really appreciate I would say, generally I say community service. I'll not say community service here, I'll say fraternity service. So they are rendering and they are doing, they are spending their own time and they are interacting with you, trying to make, help you to pass these exams. But this is the part where you need to focus, you need expert knowledge. It is not that run-of-the-mill knowledge will do. Well, you can refer to any of the books, but if you can read one of the important books, which is written by Aswath Damodran, well, he is the godfather on valuation. There is no doubt about it. I have no quarrel in my mind. And you can find a lot of his material, a lot of good articles on even website also. In some WhatsApp groups, I have seen his books being circulated, PDF versions. I don't know whether they are, copyright violations or not, but yes, I've seen them. So maybe if you can get hold of the books and all, that will be really good. Otherwise, follow his articles and which are already there on the website, Aswad Damodran. I think most of you know about him. So this is where his books and the knowledge will definitely going to help. This is the heart and soul, as I have already mentioned. 42 questions, 42 you see marks. Now, out of 42, our target should be to at least get 30 to 35 in this. If not more, at least 30. This is where, again, that trick lies. So 30 plus 17, which I mentioned earlier, plus 2. Now it comes to 49 marks. So rest is only 11 marks, which you have to score. So this is a matter of strategy, friends. You have to strategize the whole thing. The exam is a matter of strategy rather than, of course, knowledge is very, very important. Without knowledge, it cannot be done. Now, I am now straight away jumping to the most important aspect, which is general laws. Look at the weightage again, 18. These are all theoretical, not a very, very, you see, a large kind of, you can say the syllabus. It looks, on the face of it, it looks very large. But let me tell you, general laws are always easy to score. A, they are all theoretical. So you have to study. Now, what you have to study, let me also share some tips on this. Number one, as far as general laws is concerned, friends, concentrate on provisos and explanations. Supposing you are reading chapter 4 of share capital and debentures. Section 42, I can immediately comes to my mind, which is important. Similarly, section 62 is important. Now, if these sections are important, so maybe somebody can help you in pulling out that these are the important sections under this. Well, I can work with Mr. R.K. Gupta and we can work out and create a list. Then you don't have to read even all sections in that particular chapter. You concentrate only on the major parts of it. Read carefully the explanations and the provisos. I'm again repeating, friends, concentrate on explanations and provisos. If I am the examiner of any exam, I will be creating questions from exceptions, not from the general rule. So provisos and explanations generally provide those kind of a thing. So once you have done this, like Companies Act, most of you would have studied and not many chapters are there. You can see on your screen that you have to study only 4 chapters. And one chapter is only a one section, registered valuers, section 247. And there are rules which are, you see, you have to study along with this. And if you study rules along with this, the questions can, and even if you ask me, section 247, I can create 10 questions on section 247. It is such a wonderful section which is there. So you read one section, easy scoring could be there. Transfer of Property Act, yes, you might not have studied it being a chartered accountant, but then it is, the syllabus is not very large. You can look at it that you have to go by the immovable property, transfer or sale, rights and liabilities of buyers and seller. So there's a limited kind of a syllabus which is there, because Transfer of Property Act deals with the transfer of properties in the form of a gift, exchange, mortgage, sale, purchase, all those concepts, but your syllabus is limited to certain things. And then Indian Stamp Act, again, well, you as a valuer, I'm supposed to know about Indian Stamp Act, which is there. So again, the subjects which are mentioned here, you have to study. Income Tax Act, well, it's a cakewalk for everyone. I don't have to inform anything. IBC, these are not a very large syllabus for you. They are basically talking about part 1 and part 2. Even part 3 is not to be studied. So you are lucky that you have to study only certain rules and IBCs and other places. SURFACE again is a very small act, not a very large act. 2 sections are very important. Rather, I would say one section which is important is section 13, which is the heart and soul of SURFACE. It is a very long section, but you have to really read that. And then there are few SEBI regulations are there. Well, I was also of the opinion that a lot of SEBI regulations are not required here, but IBBI has a different opinion. Well, first reason could be that Dr. Sahu is the chairperson. He was also, you see, as a member of SEBI. So therefore, probably those thought processes coming. But anyhow, because of the, you see, shares and the valuation of the shares particularly, that is why they want that you should be reading these kind of syllabus. It is very large. I don't deny that. This is ICDR and LODR and prohibition of insider trading, substantial acquisition. These are very, very long regulations, no doubt about it. So my suggestion would be try to read as much as possible, because you can't remember all parts to it, but just glance through it, underline few of the important portions. And one more suggestion I can give you: when you're reading general laws, read it only from Bare Act. You do not need any book. I think, as Mr. Gupta must have suggested you, you have to read only from the Bare Act, and keep the Bare Act in a hard copy form, and keep a highlighter along with you. Just keep that highlighter with you and underline or highlight the portions where the time limits are mentioned. This is another great tip which I can give you in general laws, that you need to highlight the you see portions where time limits are there, where some numerical values are there. So these are the things which, when you revise second time, now your attention will be drawn to that particular thing. So do that, friends. Out of 18, I'm sure you can easily score around 14 to 15 marks. Not a difficult thing. Even if I'm assuming 3-4 questions are coming from surfacey, if you have not studied it also, well, maybe if you have studied, you may be able to answer 1 or 2 questions, but then 13 to 14 marks can be easily scored. So we had already reached from 47 plus 13. I say you have already done your job. 16, so you have already reached 60. But that does not mean you don't have to study the other syllabus, because we can't take chances, isn't it? So macroeconomics again, and financial statement analysis, well, cakewalk for chartered accountants. But still my suggestion is that please go through the ratio analysis, go through the performance analysis, credit analysis. There are many parts to it. Probably I may not be aware about some ratios, and any question can come. So just refresh your knowledge, which I believe you will be able to do it very easily.
Sir, we
And
have done 6 to 7 lectures on macroeconomics and financial analysis, and we invited CA Manas Chuk for that. He is economics honors from Delhi University, and he is a chartered accountant by profession. So he dealt at length on this macroeconomics and financial analysis part. So we have already had 6 to 7 video lectures, and we do
very
the recording also for the benefit of members who cannot join our early morning classes.
well, that is very wonderful. I think if that has already been done, attend his lectures, and he's
Yes,
an
sir.
expert being a professor. So definitely he will be able to give you a very good insight into the
Yes.
theoretical aspects which are
And
there. Because,
sir, regarding case laws also, we are
yeah,
planning 4 to 5 video lectures of 1 to 1.5 hour, discussing at length the various case laws. Even if they are of 2 marks, but we are ready to devote 5 to 6 hours on that.
well, anyway, that is also a good thing. But I think 1.5 hours to 2 hours are good enough, because these are only 6 this thing. But if you are going in greater detail, because they are very
Actually,
lengthy judgments.
Sir, what happens is we take the suppose company law cases there, so we take the company act provisions also. We discuss those provisions first, and then we come to the case law, because
Okay.
that helps in linking the things.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, you are absolutely right. In fact, these judgments are very important judgments, particularly Hindustan Lever judgment, Mafatlal judgment. These are very landmark judgments.
Yes, sir.
And minor differences, you see, which has been pointed out by the Supreme Court in these judgments. And the bottom line of all this judgment is that if the valuation is done by an expert, like a chartered accountant or a now, of course, registered valuer, the courts will not interfere. This is the bottom line of, you see, Hindustan Lever, Mafatlal, and many other, you see, judgments which have been there. So I think these are the greater things which you are doing. Professional business ethics and standards. Well, this is one of the things which I say, which is actually very, very close to my heart also. Professional ethics. We can't survive, friends, in any profession without following the professional ethics. Well, if you just go through these 4 or 5 concepts which are mentioned there, again, a very easy scoring. So even if we look at the first 3 parts to it, the weightage is around 13%. Now in 30, out of 13%, if I can say score 8 to 9%, so now I have already reached to up to 69 to 70%. So friends, if I am targeting, so what I suggest is, another tip which I can give you is target 70 to 75%. Once you do that, you are able to pass it in first attempt. Don't target 60%. This is one of my suggestions to you. So what I can conclude by saying in giving you the tips is, number one, as far as general laws is concerned, or the rules and regulations which are there, take bare act only. You do not require any other book, unless Gupta ji has suggested you some book. And second is, as
No,
far as
sir, we
the,
have not suggested any book.
okay. Second is, as far as the cases are concerned, they are far and few. Well, Mr. Gupta is going to have some classes on that. Very good. And a good presentation on these will definitely take you to places. But please read whatever subjects you are reading, whether it's macroeconomics, financial analysis, ratio analysis, or business ethics, or general laws, or any other. Please do 3 readings. I always tell people it is like stop, look, and go. You are not able to grasp with a single reading. You need at least 3 readings. So please do that. If you meet a person 3 times, then you remember his name, and you see, you can visualize that. If you meet for the first time, probably you may not remember. This is the same, you see, analysis which goes there. Next tip, friends, practice, practice, practice. Well, I'm not saying entertainment. I'm saying practice, practice, practice. Well, this is all more on a practical subject, isn't it? So, if you can get hold of the questions which the transition is also offering, I'm going to show you a live demonstration of that particular exam also in a short while. Practice is the key. And the exams like transition, I'm not here to promote them. I'm just giving you you see the overall this thing, so because they provide you your analysis report also. Once you have done, they will tell you you are weak in this particular subject, you have not done well. Well, you can go back to your study table and can improve your performance. This actually helps in doing that. And another part of it, when you go and take IBBI examination, well, they will tell you whether you have passed or failed. They will not tell you which question you answered wrongly. They will also not tell you what was the right answer of that wrong question, wrong answer which you gave. Well, this exam will tell you, you can review your questions. And once you are able to review, I call it as backward learning. Imagine if somebody is telling you, friends, that look, you have gone wrong in this particular area. This is not the correct answer. Rather, this is the right answer. Will you ever forget that? You will never forget that. So therefore, backward learning is also very important. Next tip, friends, questions have to be read very carefully in the exam. Please do not be in a hurry. The questions are couched in a negative language, and please find out if not is used, no is used, or negative language is being used in the question. And sometimes there will be double negative, in the sense that the question will be or start with a negative format, and even the answer will also be in a negative format. So please remember, as we all know, negative cancels us out. So please look at the question very carefully. And if you do not know the answer, I have already mentioned, please, with my humble request, with folded hands, leave that question. But don't leave too many. In the fact is, you have a margin of around 15 to 20 questions leaving, which is important. 2 hours are sufficient, friends. Do not be in a hurry. 2 hours are sufficient to answer. I can share the statistics where the people have gone on transition exam. There have been almost around 2,000 attempts of valuation exam, and I can share with you, people have finished those exams in 1 hour and 15 minutes on an average. So 75 minutes they have taken. So you get 2 hours, that means 120 minutes. So time is sufficient. Do not be in a rush to answer questions. But the suggestion is like this, like question number 1 comes on your screen. You know the answer. I know after reading it, you will be able to answer within 3 seconds. If you do not know the answer, you may continue to read for 30 minutes and you will not be able to answer it. So my suggestion is skip that question immediately. Maybe you can flag it or mark it for review. You can come back to that question later on. So first attempt is, once you are making the attempt, say you are out of 90, you are able to answer, say 60 questions or say 50 questions. Do that. And don't review them. This is also one of the great tips, because if you have answered instantly, you knew the correct answer, there is no point in reviewing that answer. Now we are left with 30 to 40 questions which you have not answered, or there are doubts which were there. You go back to them and study them. This is where the trick lies. And do not attempt case laws question or the case study questions first. Keep them for the last portion only. Because if you start attempting case studies questions first, and if you are said you have already devoted 30 minutes on that, well, then you will start becoming nervousness will come on you that look, oh, now you will be in a great rush. I have to answer now 80 questions in, you see, 90 minutes. Well, that will become a difficult thing. So please do not attempt case studies questions first. Allocate more time, of course. Well, but you will find that you will have almost 1 hour. You will be able to complete all other questions in almost an hour, and you will still get 1 hour for case study questions, where you can do that and you can come back to the questions which you want to review. In general laws, memorize time limits, punishments, offenses, and numericals wherever they are there. Well, this is a combination of some memory part, some, and of course, conceptual understanding is also very, very important. So friends, these are the tips which you have to really look at it. And of course, knowledge is very important. So what I'll do is now I'll take you to the uh, practice examination. I'll show you. But before that, if Mr. Gupta can help me, if there are any questions, we can answer those questions at this stage.
Sir, please go ahead with the live demonstration and then we can take up the questions. There are not many questions.
Okay, great. Okay, so friends, I'll just take you to the portion because the transition has been good enough to give me a demo kind of a, you can say password, login password for their this thing site. So let us go there straight away. I'll just share that screen with you. Yes, I've got it now. Here it is. So once you subscribe to them, so you will get, you can say, you will see a screen. This is the login screen which is there. Well, what we can do is we can put the your username. Generally, your email is your username, and after that, this password is to be put in. And once you put the password out here, you will be taken to a dashboard. Now, in the dashboard, you look at on the left-hand side that will you will be finding that there is an upcoming exam. So once you go there in upcoming exam and whatever exams you have subscribed, they will appear. Like we can see that there is the exams like transition valuation exam. You are finding it, and there are certain codes which are attached: TV1, TVE3, TVE5, which means you get one attempt in this, 3 attempts, 5 attempts. So they've got packages of 1 attempt, 3 attempt, and 5 attempt. That depends on you how many of you want. But if you ask my advice, you require minimum attempt, at least attempt 5. So if you are able to attempt 5, well, it is better. If you still need more, you can do that. Okay, so let's start the exam. Once you get this, you have to press this take exam. Now, if you just press take exam, you will be taken to the exam instructions, just like in IBBI also. Here, the instructions are only 3, 4, but in IBBI, they will be running into 1 or 2 pages. So just check this box and then start the exam. So press this only when you are ready to take the exam. And one of my suggestion is, please do not take this exam unless you have studied the syllabus in full. Otherwise, you may lose confidence. So prepare yourself well. Once, so one time, second time, third time you have studied, then take this attempt, and then you can come back and see where you were lacking. So let's look at this, friends. This is very, very important. Now it is pulling up a question because I know that transition has got a bank of almost around 8,000 questions in valuation, and now it is pooling. So every time you attempt, there will be a different question which will be there. Now look at the top of this, friends. Let us understand this screen. This screen will be different than IBBI screen because obviously the look and feel will be a little different. The colors may be different. So, but this is only a sample just to tell you, but the parts which are here, which will be quite similar to IBBI's exam. Now here on the top right-hand corner, you can see the countdown has already started from 2 hours. So this is the countdown. And then underneath you are seeing the palette, and the palette tells you that there are 90 questions. And every question you will find a link, a hyperlink is there. You can click on any number and you can straight away go to that question. So this helps when I'm reviewing my questions after we have attempted. So it is like this. And this palette will also change its colors. Once you answer it, once you do not answer it, once you are marking it, it will also change in color. So it will be a very colorful palette after once we have attempted all questions. And then it will be an easy thing for us to jump to that particular question. On the top of it, friends, look at this. You are finding 10 parts to it. What are these parts? These parts are nothing but based on your syllabus, based on the syllabus which I just showed. So you will find that the exam is also divided into 10 parts. In IBBI, it will be little different. It will not be divided into 2 parts. It may be divided into 3 parts. So 10 parts, but it will be divided into different parts because all questions will be combined. Here, you will get in section 1 questions from macroeconomics first. Second, you will get from financial analysis. Third, you will get from professional ethics. Similar to what we have in syllabus. But in the IBBI exam, all questions will be mixed up. You can expect general question first. You can expect professional ethics question first. So anything can come. But number of questions will come as per the syllabus only. So this is what it is here. Why it has been done in transition? When I asked them also, I was informed that this is just to understand, give you the performance analysis in a particular subject. So otherwise, if it is all mixed up, it was very difficult for them to analyze the performance. So that is why they have done this. Well, this is the kind of the questions. I'm not answering it. We're not testing our knowledge here. Just random, I'm going to answer. Look at, supposing I'm answering, say, B here. Look at the palette, what it happens to it. The moment I answer it, look at this question number 1 on the right hand side. It changes its color as saying answered. So now that you have answered it. Now, let's go to the next one and then we'll see. Supposing you answer, say, D here, assuming, but you are not sure of this answer. Well, there will be a review button in the exam. Here it is, they call it as flag button. You can flag this. Look at the palette, what happens. Now it turns into purple, but there is a tick mark on the above of it. That means I have answered it, but I would like to review it later on. This is where the palette is going to help you, friends. Now let us go to question number 3. I do not know the answer, but I want to flag it because I want to come back to it. Okay, I just flagged it. Now here the palette is telling me I've flagged it, but I've yet to answer it. And let's go to the 4. I don't know the answer, so I skip. If I skip, look at the palette. It changes colors as not answered. It changes into red. This is where. Now, supposing in question number 5, I have answered, say, this all of the above. And then later on, I thought, no, I want to answer it C. So I can change that anytime from D to C. No problems. But if you have answered it and you never wanted to answer it because I told you that you have to leave sometimes the question answers also, well, there is a clear button on the bottom. You can click that and you can clear your answer also. So all facilities are there. So nothing to be worried about. Well, while we are at this question, friends, let me give you another tip. If there is all of the above in an answer, 90% of the time, all of the above will be the correct answer. But don't pick it blindly. Don't pick it just because you see while in the examination hall you remember that, oh, Mr. Makhija told us all of the above is always the correct answer. I'm not saying that. I'm saying 90% of the time you will find that all of the above is the correct answer. This is another tip which I can give you, but of course you have to read the question, understand, and then read the options also, right? So this is what you can do. Okay, sometimes these tips do help us. So this is where you are going to say. Let's quickly answer a few of the questions without. I'm not reading it. I'm just answering them straight away. Like the term EVA refers to. Look at this. What the examiner is testing your knowledge all about. Is it the knowledge which a registered value is expected to get? Well, we don't know, but this is the pattern of the exam. Expected value analysis, economics value added, extra value analysis, engineering value analysis. So this is what you see, the things are there. They are playing with few words. That is what it is there. Okay. So anyhow, I'm just answering few of the questions. Let's go to the general parts of the question. So this is like this. This is on Negotiable Instrument Act. And these are the gifts which are taxable. This is particularly on the taxation part. Okay. So yeah, just this is from Transfer of Property Act. So the straight questions are coming. This is what it is important. From financial analysis, well, these kind of questions you can expect. So more you practice, friends, more you get hang of what kind of questions are being asked. They are generally adopting certain tricks, like Indian accounting standards. Well, you guys are an expert on that, isn't it? So you can always look at these kind of things. So sometimes easy questions you will also find, but then difficult questions are also coming in this part. And then overview of the valuation. Well, this you people are the expert after reading this. Well, this is extremely important to do this. Okay. So I'm just answering at random. I'm not looking at the questions because just to show you what will be your performance analysis at the end of the day. Let's move on to the next part, which is valuation approaches. This is highly technical. So this is highly technical, which you will have to understand. And that is where the classes by Mr. R.K. Gupta and Mr. Nitish Chuk are really helping you. And I think they're doing a wonderful job. So, okay, let me go to the next section quickly, like judicial analysis. Now, in judicial analysis, these are what are the factors which are there, which are to be considered. In Hindustan Lever case, what was you see the decision? What are the ratio? Well, we can say all of the above. Well, these are the case law code because there are only two questions on judicial. Then these are the case studies question. Now, one more important aspect, friends. In IBBI's exam, particularly in case analysis, well, you will be asked given three case studies, and then the questions are being asked right from three case studies. In IBBI, in transitions exam, what they have done is, so what you get is one case study, and then the questions follow from that case study. This is what IBBI does while asking questions from the case studies. Uh, that means the screen will be divided into two parts. And in IBBI, it is not like left and right. It is actually top and bottom. So you will have the case narrative on the top, and then that narrative will stay with you, but the questions will keep on changing when you press next. So there will be one case study where four questions will be asked. Then there are two more case studies where three questions are being asked. So in all total, 10 questions are being asked. So you get three case studies in the real exam. But what transition has done is that instead of giving you three case studies in 10 questions, they are giving you different case study for every question. Maybe because it is computer random, you may receive another same case study but a new question. So what transition wants you to do is that they are actually telling you to practice more. So in one exam, you may come across 5, 6, 7, depending upon what the computer picks. So because they want you to practice more case study. Look at this. This is Sohan is this is what it is there. Second is they look at this Lemon Ventures. Third, another the case study changes. Fourth, again the case study changes. Fifth, again it has changed. Sixth, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now Techno has come back. So now you have got 9 case studies. Well, imagine, friends, in an examination, you are practicing more. This is what transition wants you to do. This is where it is going to help you. Okay, so I'm just picking up few random answers. I'm not and none of the above. Like I give you a tip that all of the above you can pick an answer in 90% of the cases, but that is not true for none of the above. So don't apply that formula there. Okay, so this is also important. So I'm just picking up at random, and once you reach the last stage, say question number 90, now look at the palette. This is where again another tip comes. The portions which you have already answered and you were confident, please do not review them. Review only which you have not answered or which you have flagged them. Like now I want to review and go back to question number 2. I will click from the palette and straight away I'll go to question number 2. If I go and click question 5, I'll go straight to question 5 and I can review my whatever answer which I've given. The questions which I've skipped like 18, I can click that and I can go there and answer it. This is the way you have to use this palette. This is very, very helpful, friends, even in IBBI exam. So you must do that. Okay, so let's come back to question 90. Let's finish the exam. Well, it says, are you sure you want to finish the exam? Because it says 62 questions not answered. So in IBBI also, you will get a warning, but they will not give you only one warning. They'll give you two warnings. Are you sure you want to finish? And when you click finish, it'll say, are you really sure? So you have to say, yes, yes, I want to finish the exam. So be very careful while you press finish. You cannot drop this exam in transition also. Once it starts, it will continue for 2 hours. You can't pause, you can't come back. Once you start the exam, you will have to do it. Some questions do come to me, like what happens supposing I have not answered a question? Well, that will not be counted. If you have answered the question and marked it as a review, whatever answer you have given, computer will examine on that. Flagging is only for your purposes. For the computer's analysis, you have already answered it. So if you finish the exam, you don't remove the flag or you don't remove the review button. Whatever answer you have given, it will be taken as that answer. So this is where that also that is also to be borne in mind. So let me finish this exam and let's see what happens after this. So once we finish the exam, automatically it will tell you pass or fail. Well, don't go by the percentage here because we did not attempt many of the questions. Let's go to the dashboard back again. When I go to the dashboard, now this exam which I've taken will appear in exam history, right? Now let me go to the, you see, exam history. You can find that transition valuation exam which is already there, and underneath it, and you can see the grade out portion taken one time out of 5, and there is a small gray notch. Just click this. Once you click this, it tells you you have taken first attempt on 8th October, and this was the percentage. And look at the on the right hand side, it says review. Here is where you can review your analysis or performance. If I press review, now it gives you a huge statistics. That out of 90 questions, 14 were correct. You did not answer 62, and these were incorrect. So don't go by partially incorrect because this is a common software for transition. So it is not relevant for us. And how much time you took for this exam. And then if you scroll down, you will find question number 1. This was a wrong answer which you have given. And there is a negative marking. How much time did you spend in answering each question? Actually, this is a fantastic thing. We spent 2 minutes and 37 seconds in question 1, 3 seconds in question 2, and so on and so forth. So you can review your performance by saying how much time did you spend on an average. This also gives you a fantastic thing. And now supposing I want to know what was the right answer in my question number 1. There is a review button here. Just click that. Once you click that, the same question paper which you attempted, it is again creating that question pool. So depending on your internet speed, it may take 1 minute or it may take even less than that also. So once it is done, the same question paper will come back to us and it will tell us, look at this. It says you answered B, which is coming in red, but the correct answer is A. This is what it tells you. And it tells you that your status is incorrect, marks are negative, you took so much of time. You can go to the next question. We answered it rightly. Third question, we did not answer it. The status says unanswered, but the correct answer was A. Similarly, we did not answer this. The correct answer was this. So it will tell you, now look at the question number 14. It says, you answered B. The correct answer was A. Well, this is what I tell as backward learning, isn't it? This is extremely important because now the computer is telling you that, look, this is the answer. So similarly, in case studies questions, they are telling you that this is the answer. This is the correct answer, right? So this is the where you will actually get to know, look at this, all of the above. Isn't it a correct answer? So I told you. So generally speaking, all of the above will be the correct answer. But well, again, you have to read that question. So be careful while reading the questions. So this is, you get the entire analysis. So let's come out of this and I'll show you another part of it, which is again very important. Now, if you go down a little bit after all these 90 questions, you will find a bar chart. Look at this. This is syllabus wise. Now it is telling you your section 1 macroeconomics. Well, 3 questions. One question was right, one question you did not answer, and one question was wrong, incorrect. So now the chart is divided into green, orange, and yellow. Green represents correct answers, yellow represents unanswered, and orange represents incorrect. Now, based on this, if suppose you had answered many of the things, I can now analyze my performance, whether I am weak in valuation technique, valuation approach, overview, financial statement, general laws. Well, this is what your analysis is. So wherever you are, I mean, slightly you are lacking, go back to the study table, refresh your knowledge once again, come back and take the second attempt. Do that exercise again. And by the time you have taken 5 exams, well, my dear friends, mark my words, you are exam ready. I'm telling you, you will be exam ready. You will get a lot of confidence in passing these exams. This is where this kind of thing helps. And then there is a small analysis from which syllabus you answered rightly, wrongly, and this is also a chart which you are getting. And what was the negative marking, which also, now you can also review that we got -4. Imagine, this is actually what brings you down, isn't it? So you can always review your performance this way. So this is one of the fantastic things which is available. I think you can get in touch with Mr. Gupta. He is already in talks with Transition. Maybe he can get you a better deal than what I can get you also. So this is where the things are there. Okay, so I'm just stopping it right now. If any questions are there, friends, well, we can discuss, we can talk about it. Or maybe Gupta ji can moderate, right?
Sir, there was one question. In case of any network issue,
Yeah.
what will be the situation? Whether the test will continue or what?
Well, that will be a problem if there is a network issue. Uh, if you have been logged out, if you log in immediately, well, it will you will be able to do login. But if you want to log in from a second device, like you have logged in from a laptop, later on you want to log in from your iPad or something or any other device, well, it will not let you do that. But immediately, if you are logged out and you want to log in, then of course you will be able to do that. But the time, whatever you were logged out, that will also be counted in time. So please be careful. Please see that your internet is working fine. So that is what is important.
Okay, 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 sir.
Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Any
sir,
other question?
it was really a wonderful session. And for the information of all those who have joined us, we would like to tell that definitely once you go through these tests of transition, you can be sure of quality, of feedback, of continuous support, because they have established their name over a period of time, and they've been doing a really wonderful job for the fraternity. In IBC exams also, their tests were quite unique and quite helpful for the people to pass the exams. uh, we are also doing our little bit, particularly during this lockdown. We got a lot of time, and we have put lot of material on our website carkgupta.com. So if you log on to our website carkgupta.com, you will find an icon, valuation BGM. So a lot of PPTs are there, and even Facebook link is also there where we are putting our video lectures. In case you are not comfortable with Facebook, we are sharing it through Google Drive also. The updated video lectures and PPTs. We have got two Google Drives. One contains the PPTs. I have shared the link here also in chat box. And in case you are not able to copy that link, you can drop a message to either Nitish Chug or me. Both the numbers are displayed in the chat box also. We have been in touch with Transition, and they have offered us a very good deal. It's entirely up to you whether you want to have it or not. But I can assure you of the quality, of the continuous support, and of the excellence, not only in technical scenario, but knowledge wise also. So you tend to gain a lot, because it gives you a feeling of like say online examination. So it was
So,
really a wonderful session.
yeah, Gupta ji, I just want to add one or two
Haji sir.
important aspects. Yeah, one is
Haji sir.
But friends, as I mentioned, first you study well. That's very important. That is the key.
Yes, sir.
And another part of it, like Mr. Gupta is saying that a lot of material is available on a particular website, on his website. Well, that is absolutely good. But my suggestion is, if you are taking the help of the material which is available on the website, then stick to that only. Do not go and start reading too many of the things, because if you
Yes,
start reading too many things, like from this website also, that website also,
yes, sir.
well, you will get confused.
Hmm.
So concentrate only on one part, make that as a base, and then enhance your knowledge from there. I think that is one of the tips which I can give you,
Yes,
because a lot of information is flowing in internet. You see, you go to Google, you want to find for evaluation techniques, I think you will find hundreds of PPTs. Well, stick
yes,
to
sir.
one.
That is true.
Stick to one. Concentrate on one part of study material, whatever is available with you. Like if RVO has given you, maybe that's a good material, you can always add on from that. Okay, do that, friends.
Actually,
And
sir, we started our classes because many members, even after attending RVO classes, they were finding it difficult to pass the exam. Some
right,
of the RVOs are just giving them some outdated material, and they are, because not some are doing very good job also. Some of them are excellent, but some of them are just passing the time. So we
right.
thought it fit to let us help the members, let us help the members of the fraternity, and we have got our own group of experts on,
Right.
like for international tax, for income tax, for company law, for everything. We have got an expert, and those are the PPTs designed by them only. So it's really
Yeah,
good.
one more aspect, Gupta ji. If
Yes,
all these participants will be benefited with the experience of many people, including those who have already passed the exam also. So I believe you have a WhatsApp group of these people. So
yes, sir.
make a
Yes, sir.
WhatsApp
Yes,
group,
sir.
but only no good mornings and nothing else has to
Yes,
be
sir.
there.
Yes,
Maybe a
yes. That is
discussion.
true, sir. Haan ji.
I mean, I'll be also happy to be a part of that group. If you wish, I can also be a part of it.
Definitely, sir.
I
Definitely.
can also share my experience. And if you need my help on judicial pronouncements also, maybe I can take a session also if you wish to do that.
Definitely,
So
sir. Definitely.
I'll try
Definitely.
to
We
make
would be
time
obliged
for,
to have you.
and
Haan ji.
even in general laws, if you want, I can, of course, you are very good in general laws and you are also doing it. But if you want my support on any particular law also, I can come back on that. So I think
मैं
at
तो
least
ये कहना चाहूंगा कि हम लोगों ने जो भी कुछ सीखा है आशीष मगीजा सर से ही सीखा
नहीं,
है।
नहीं,
हमें
ऐसा
आज
कुछ
भी
नहीं।
याद है, कई बार हम लोग लेक्चर देने जाया करते तो हम तो ये 2-4 मिनट बोल दिया करते थे कि ऐसा है जी, ये इंट्रोडक्शन है, 2 मिनट या 4 मिनट बोला, उसके बाद आशीष मगीजा सर बोलेंगे। तो
No,
वो
no,
दो
I think
घंटे में नाम तो दोनों का ही लिखा रहता था, लेकिन हमारा 2 मिनट का डेलिब्रेशन होता था और उसके बाद आशीष मगीजा सर को पूरा टेकअप करना पड़ता था। तो
no, I think we are all in this together. We have been learning from each other. The respect is all mutual, Gupta ji. I think, like Nitish Chugji is also doing a wonderful job. He's a wonderful person.
yes, sir. He has passed both the exams. He is
Yeah,
a registered valuer and is an insolvency professional also.
सबसे better tips तो वही दे सकते हैं.
हाँ जी। वैसे मैंने तो सर कोई एग्जाम पास नहीं किया है और मेरी कोई इच्छा भी नहीं है एग्जाम पास करने की। मेरी इच्छा तो यही है मेंबर्स को सर्व करें और उसी में मजा आता है सर। अब हमने
देखो सर,
जो
ऐसा
करना
है,
था कर लिया। हाँ जी।
जब आप स्कूल और कॉलेज में होते हैं, आपका टीचर तो टीचर ही रहता है, लेकिन आप
यस
कहीं
सर,
भी
यस
जा सकते
सर।
हो, but the respect is still there, isn't it? So
यस सर,
it's not necessary that one has to pass an exam, but the focus has to be there. That's more important. But
यस
I think it's a wonderful thing which you are doing, and the great sessions which you are devoting your own time, personal time also. Well, I mean, hats off to you. I have no words to say, you see, anything on that. So keep on sharing good wisdom with the people. And I think these people again can come back and share their knowledge with more people once they pass the exam. So I
yes
think
sir.
that
And we keep inviting those who pass the exam. We invite them to share their experience on
correct.
periodical basis. हाँ जी।
Correct.
So
Chalo,
thank
great,
you
sir.
all. Thank you Transition. Thank you
Good morning, Makhija ji.
for this
Thank you,
wonderful
sir. Thank you.
deliberation.
Oh,
Good morning, Ji. Good morning.
good morning, Makhija ji. May I say something? Ki I cleared my examination of independent directors. There are
Okay.
42 modules, and I believe ki some of the modules are presented by you. It is correct?
Yes, sir. I'm there. मेरा recorded lectures हैं उसके अंदर.
जी जी.
दो तीन particularly duties of directors और एक दो और के अंदर आप you will be able to hear my voices. And I must tell you one more aspect. There, IICA for independent director exam, they have got 3,000 questions bank. 3 से 4,000 question का bank है. And I can tell this group that out of that 1,000 questions have been contributed by me. So,
Well.
Yes, sir. That is really great.
so that is that. Chalo, great, sir. I think it was a great session. Thank you, everyone. And particularly, I would like to thank R.K. Gupta ji and Nitish ji for inviting me and for sharing my experience with you and sharing the tips. Thank you, friends. Stay safe, stay healthy.
For the
Thank
information
you.
of
Thank you,
those
sir. Thank you. Thank
who
you.
want to get in touch with us, I think we have already displayed our numbers in the chat box. Still, you can note down if you are not able to surf through the chat. Nitish Chuk's number is 98710 and mine is 9811117243. So these are the numbers you can get in touch with, but we actually try to include only those members in our WhatsApp group, those who are willing to attend our daily morning classes. Because some people just enter and they start wishing good morning and good evening, so we don't like, and we immediately remove those persons. So we want only serious persons, because otherwise also whatever we are discussing, we are already putting it in public domain. So there is nothing. We don't even ask your name before you download our material. We don't ask anything. Whether even if you are not a chartered accountant, you can easily go to our website and download anything you like. But we want only those who are willing to do some serious study. And this transition, definitely, it is a boon for all of us. So definitely, I think all of us will be benefited. Those who want to take the exam, they must go through it. And you just drop us a personal message and we will share the details with you regarding the costs and all those things. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. We are really blessed to have you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we are ending the meeting now.